Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Life with Zion. My name is Zion for anyone who is new here, and I talk about all things money, manifestation, mindfulness, education, and more. Today, I'm super excited because I'm gonna be talking about my experience as a woman of color and a low-income student attending an Ivy League institution, namely Brown University. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and smash that like button because there'll be a lot more content like this one. I'm gonna go ahead and link all my socials up above. I'm very active on social media, so go ahead and give me a follow for your daily financial inspiration and overall motivation. All right, guys, let's get to the video. So starting off this video, I wanted to highlight a comment that I got from one of my subscribers. And they asked me, how are you able to afford an Ivy League school as a low income student? Or how can any sort of student afford an Ivy League institution with such a big ticket price? And my answer is scholarships. If you are a senior about to go to college, if you're a freshman in high school, sophomore, junior, or even if you were actually already in college and it's your freshman or sophomore year, even your junior year, go ahead and make an Excel spreadsheet and list all scholarships that are targeted for you. And go ahead and just rapidly apply, write really great essays, make really amazing videos, because there's so many scholarships out there, especially if you're a high achieving minority student, first generation student, or low income student who really want to help you go to school for even free. If you have any sort of questions, leave a question down below for me about going to an Ivy League school, and I will try my best to feature you in my next video and answer that question. So about a week or two ago, I made a video titled "The Ivy League is Failing Students." So if you haven't checked out that video, I want you to go ahead, and I'm linking it above. Watch this video all the way through and then go back and watch that video. But I wanted to sit down and make a video that really showed Brown University in a positive light. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience at Brown University. And I'm gonna do that in 3 different groups or categories. First, I'm gonna start by talking about my academic life and academic experience at Brown. Then I'm gonna move on to my social life, and then I'm going to finish off by talking a bit about my athletic experience at Brown. I wanted to start off by talking about my academic life and connect that to something called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is something that a lot of students face going to college, especially Ivy League institutions, especially students who are low-income students or first-gen students or students of color. They get to the institution and they see that there's not a lot of people or a lot of students who are of their same demographic at that institution, and they begin to question, hey, do I belong here? And I just wanted to reassure you that you do. When you're accepted into an institution, it's because they want you and you deserve to be there. So just get there and be ready to just kill it just because you know that you are awesome. So I'm going to be honest, the students at Brown University are not very racially diverse, but they are diverse in thought. A lot of students here have the most amazing stories of kind of how they got into Brown almost, and a lot of it stems from them working their absolute butt off in high school. And so yes, sure, at Brown there are the students who, I'm just gonna say it, only got here because of their parents' money, but there's also a lot of students who are just so incredibly talented and so gifted and work extremely hard. If I'm being completely honest, I can only think of one time that I felt as though someone was discriminating against me because I was a woman of color at an Ivy League institution. And I'm not even sure if it was because of my gender or my race. I took a class and a TA always seemed to kind of be really demeaning towards me. The one time I had a little issue with a TA, I was able to go to that professor who I built up a really good professor-student relationship with, and they were able to kind of intervene in that process. Lastly, I want to hit upon the internship process. I think one of the best things about going to Brown specifically is the other students should drive to find these really great internships over the summer. And with that comes a lot of student bodies who organize together specifically to help you on your search to an internship. Find an affinity group that is really looking to help you out. These different affinity groups will help you by notifying you of different opportunities for you in order to help you along your search for an internship. my biggest advice to you is to really play to your strengths. As a student of color or a low-income student or first-generation student, you have faced a lot of adversity in your life. And there's nothing more powerful than someone who has faced so much adversity and they're able to still be on the same playing field or even above another playing field as someone else who hasn't faced that much adversity. And a lot of these internships, especially corporate American internships, are looking for students just like you. And I think that is what is so amazing about going to a school like Brown University, having, especially as a student, a low-income student, a student of color, or a first-gen student, you were able to get to this school in the first place by facing all of these different adversities, but you're also able to excel at this school, and I think that companies love that and will honestly want to grab you. So moving on to my social experience at Brown University. I'm not gonna lie to you, there are quite a few students at Brown who only want to hang out with other wealthy, affluent white students. For example, my freshman year, I was put on a floor and there was quite a few students who were extremely wealthy. I'm talking about one student's dad owned an island. Unfortunately, I would say that they grew up in circles that were mostly white affluent circles, and so no surprise when they got to Brown, they stuck in those circles. And unfortunately, not all wealthy white students think like this, but particularly that group of students, they were very stuck in these particular mindsets and ways that it really showed that they didn't realize that there's other demographics and people in the world besides wealthy white people. Brown, it's not segregated. You're gonna see quite a few intermixing racially of groups, but for the most part, Black students do stick with African American students and Asian students do stick with Asian students, but that doesn't necessarily have to be your experience. That wasn't my experience. I would say I have a pretty diverse group of friends, and what I mean by this is when you get to Brown University and if you are a student of color or you are a low-income student, a first-generation student, I really do urge you to find other students of your same demographic and be able to connect with them because you guys do have similar experiences. But I really do urge you to step outside of those comfortable, safe boundaries and meet people from different backgrounds, different like socioeconomic statuses, because with different backgrounds comes diverse thought and you're able to see this world for what it really is. You know, growing up in Georgia, I always went to a white institution because just realistically, my mom put me there because that's where the best education systems were. But it also kind of came with like a one-minded idea. And because I didn't fit like a certain stereotype or a certain like identity of beauty, I might have questioned my stereotype or identity of beauty at one point in time. But growing up, going to a school like Brown and becoming friends with people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities and races, you learn that people's perspectives in life are very different and that there's no one definition to life. There's no one definition to beauty and there's no one definition to smartness. For example, we have a pretty large LGBTQ community here at Brown University, and something really cool happened when I first got to Brown. Over the course of my freshman year, our bathrooms changed from like his and her to like gender neutral bathrooms. And so this was the first kind of introduction to the concept of pronouns for me. And there are quite a few students here at Brown who they don't subscribe to a particular, they might not have any pronoun at all, or they use the pronoun they. Get to know students who have the pronoun they. Get to know students who are trans and really listen and grow really strong connections and bonds with them, because that's the only way that you will broaden your perspective. Life, society is something that we very much created, and we put people into boxes because we like to define things in life because it's easier for us, for our minds to accept. And so truly I urge you, I challenge you to step outside of these like predefined societal definitions and see life for what it is, something that's very vast and open and beautiful and honestly sometimes undefinable. Lastly, I wanted to bring up my athletic career at Brown. There's been a controversial topic that student athletes don't belong at Ivy League institutions. I just wanted to pop this picture up on the screen, and it is an award that I won and two of my other teammates won as well. And basically what it is, each Ivy League institution picks students to award this to in the spring and in the fall. And it basically says, these are the students who were able to excel athletically, and they were also able to excel academically. So all of us have done really well this semester on the track or on the field or the other different sports that the other students play, but we've also done really well in the classroom, meaning we have really strong GPAs. And I just wanted to put that up there, not to boast, but to show that any student athlete out there who goes to a school, that you have the ability to do both, and you belong at your institution, and you belong playing the sport that you play, doing the sport that you do, and you're able to excel in the classroom as well. My athletic career is linked heavily to my experience at Brown, and my athletic career has been really fulfilling and really amazing, and has taught me so many different things. And my background as a woman of color, my background as a student athlete, my background as a low-income student has really shaped my mission here on YouTube, and that is to reach other students, other young adults, whether you are a low-income student or whether you're a student of color, whether you are an extremely wealthy student. My mission is to really show you guys that as a young adult, you're able to build wealth. You're able to build wealth as a low-income student as well. I made a video talking about how I saved $10,000, over $10,000 as a low-income student. You guys can check that out. But you can do it, and we can do it, and we're gonna do it together. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was probably a long one, but I just really wanted to open up about my experience going to Brown University, and I hope that this video reached someone, touched someone, helped someone, motivated someone. That is really my goal of why I do what I do. Lastly, don't forget to check out these videos on the screen, wherever they are. I make a lot of fun videos about making money, about saving money, about investing. So I hope that you guys do enjoy. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, bye guys.